All right, Oval fans. Yes, I haven't been ignoring the subject. I just felt like I wanted to wait to touch on the subject of what's the connection between Priscilla and Victoria's father, Curtis. Just because of the fact that, well, like I mentioned in my episode review, I'm not really that interested in the whole, oh, Priscilla knows her father, so she must be the mole or something. I don't, eh, I don't know if I'm going to mention it in this video. I think I'll probably do another video that's probably going to raise some eyebrows of I'm not really feeling this new Priscilla, because as I was reading the comments on my episode review, I thankfully there were some people that agree with me, but regardless, even if I have people in my corner or not, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. It's just that I feel like maybe we've seen too many of these scorn, bitter, angry, quote unquote, semi-psychotic black women in Tyler Perry content that to me it's gotten a bit stale. Not to mention, wasn't Victoria supposed to be the new Veronica, aka the bad bitter bitch of the series, and now we have another one? But regardless, let's get into it. I'll give my thoughts on who I think Priscilla is, how she knows Victoria's father, while also possibly debunking a popular theory that has been going on amongst the fan base as a whole. So, you know what? These are my thoughts. I will try to back them up with as much evidence as I can, and we'll go from there. But before getting into it, make sure you take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Also hit subscribe. That way you keep up to date with the content, because we're closing in on 200,000 subscribers. And also hit the bell icon and select all. Just be aware you will be receiving notifications from Our Kind of Entertainment, since I changed the name from the Haves and the Have-Nots Review. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And thanks so much for supporting the channel, because the numbers have been going up from the view count, subscriber count, as well as the subscriber watch time. So I really want to talk about the first thing, which is some fans theorizing, remember that huge packet that Diane gave Priscilla to give to Sam if Priscilla didn't hear back from her by like 4 o'clock or something, or 5 o'clock that same day, because she went to the White House and obviously was killed. So some people have been saying, well, Jeremy, what if Priscilla looked through all that information that Diane gave Colonel Martin, and as a result, she knows a lot of things that she could use to get back at Victoria and the current administration? I like that way of thinking. There's possibly things in the folder, assuming she did read through them first, that she may not have been privy to beforehand. But she makes it clear to Sam, I've been working in the White House longer than you. I have connections you don't. I play such an important role that not even, well, when talking to Victoria, not even Sam knows about. So I feel like her tenure at the White House pretty much solidifies that has more evidence to being a reason why she's connected to Curtis than what's in that folder. I mean, let's be completely honest here. Victoria was about to have her thrown out, but then Curtis called and squashed all that. Now, the only way I could see that working, where Priscilla knew she was, bulletproof, essentially. Imagine her reading all that folder stuff, calling Curtis and saying, hey, I know all this stuff about you, the current administration, so I want immunity when I go to the White House. And with Curtis being who Curtis is, you mean to tell me that if Priscilla went, do what I say, I want to blow the whistle on you, that he wouldn't have somebody sent to kill her immediately? So, no, I'm going to say that Priscilla's confidence now has not much, if anything, to do with that packet Diane gave her. Just to put that out there. Another popular theory is that Priscilla is potentially Victoria's sister. And I mentioned this in the review, and somebody filled in the blanks because I couldn't remember if it was Victoria's mother or her father that had her as a bastard child. But somebody mentioned that it was Victoria's mother, and Victoria is the black sheep of the family, given the fact that she's darker than her siblings. But I'm like, which that was in early season 1 when she said all this. But then as soon as we met Curtis, I'm like, Bill Duke, I mean, he's pretty dark himself. So I mean, are these other, it's kind of like, you know, when you look at the Jackson family and how darn near none of the kids look like Joe. They all have like traits of their mother. So it's like, was Victoria just the one who looked dark? I mean, how dark was the man that her mother slept with us? I'm reading the comments as I'm recording. Jay Bag says, once again, Tyler's poor writing projection shines through. You hit the nail on the head, Jeremy, about the glaring fact that Curtis is dark brown skin, darker than Victoria, who again was the darkest one in her family. And now Priscilla's been added to the mix. What I think happened is that Priscilla may have read through the document. Oh yeah, I've already talked about that. Yeah, I kind of semi-debunked that. And yeah, somebody else said that, you know, it doesn't make sense in regards to the skin color. So, I mean, did Curtis step out on the marriage and have a child of his own? But unlike Maud, didn't bring the child back to the marriage. You know, he probably stepped out on her, got a woman pregnant, and probably paid her off and took care of Priscilla on the side. And Priscilla, you know, serving under different administrations. Now, some people have told me, Jeremy, Victoria's parents are not one of the 5 families, but they're joined with the 5 families. But kind of like they work with them, but they're not one of them. But I thought that was the case, that Victoria's parents were one of the 5 families. I know the episode 5 Families, when Donald was about to choke Lily but can't do it, he pretty much explains everything. But I'm too lazy to go back and watch that scene. But the way that Curtis talked in the season 2 finale, I'm the Negro they let at the table, it just made it seem like he was, you know, him and his wife were the only black ones at the table of the 5 families, and suggested his daughter. So, I mean, to me, if he was one of the 5 families, it makes sense. Because Priscilla saying, I worked at the White House for so long and I have connections. So with her being a trusted employee, it makes sense that she would be connected to the 5 families in some way. That's not to say she's necessarily Curtis's daughter, aka Victoria's sister, because, well, that gives me vibes of our kind of people, you know, between Angela and Leah sharing the father, Teddy. 2 women who don't hit it off well at all. And, you know, they have the same, you know, father. So they're always butting heads. But to me personally, I don't think Priscilla has to be the daughter. I think for me, it could just be that she's a long-time trusted employee of the White House. Hell, who's to say that she wasn't involved with these people prior to getting the job? Or maybe she was on the job for a short time and made such a good impression on, you know, the powerful people that they decided, you know what, Priscilla's a good one. And I don't want to, you know, then again, if there's a lot of white people, they probably say, Priscilla, she's one of the good ones. You know, she can be trusted. She sees everything. She knows everything. She can kind of chime in for and let us know what's going on. But then again, she said, you know, you can call it whatever you want to. The mole, what do you mean? I don't know. I feel like she could be the mole, but given that she's allowing her emotions to get the better of her. I mean, remember, Martin was the one that told her, don't quit the job. I need you on the inside. And it's like, fam, she's clearly distraught. All of the people she's friends with who are also employees of the White House have been murdered. Or getting, yeah, I mean, hell, it's like when she saw the reporter dying, it's like, what, they're just killing us now? They're just murdering people now? And then on top of that, her husband is, you know, having an affair with the first lady. She is clearly not the right operative to go on the inside to work this case. I'm curious, you know, like what Hunter said, did Priscilla tell her father about you sleeping with her husband? I'm just confused because I wonder if Curtis knows about, you know, how reckless Priscilla's being. But I feel like at this point, seeing that Hunter and Victoria are never going to learn and he's dying, he probably doesn't care. But I just don't understand the connection, because even if she's closely tied to Curtis, but she's not connected to any other of the powerful people running the country, whether it be the 5 families or other people on the inside of the White House. I cannot comprehend where her new persona is coming from, because is she aware that Curtis is dying? Because once he's dead, wouldn't that mean she's literally floating in the ocean without a life raft or anything? Meaning that, hey, Priscilla, you talking all big and bad now, but once Curtis dies, Victoria and Hunter have no more protection, and Hunter's under the impression that, once he's dead, I'll start running the show, but fails to realize that that also means your protection's gone, meaning that people are going to be coming for you who are even worse than Curtis. So what are you planning to do? So I'm just thinking that Priscilla could be killed. Seriously. Victoria's father dies. Victoria knows this, obviously. And she figures, wait a minute, so you were talking all big and bad because my dad had your back, but guess what? Daddy's gone now. You're mine, bitch. Pow, you're dead. That's what I don't understand. Hopefully they give us more intel as to what Priscilla's true role is and who she's supposed to be, but I don't really buy the whole daughter thing. I mean, it would be within the realm of Tyler Perry to do this. I just don't feel like... I don't think so. I mean, if Priscilla was Victoria's sister, I feel like she would have said it by now. Because at this point, it really doesn't matter. Curtis is about to die. He knows his name's going to be dragged through the mud. And... I mean, she could be the sister. I don't know. But that's really all I got for this video. I just... Yeah, like I said, I'll do a separate video about why I'm not feeling this new Priscilla. But in terms of the role, do I think that it's a family thing where Priscilla is related to Victoria and that's why Curtis is so protective of her? I mean, given that Victoria's always been the black sheep of the family and her family's always treated her like trash, but like her siblings included, but now her siblings have been nicer to her given that she's now the first lady. She's married to Hunter, who was in the governor's mansion, then Congress or senator or whatever. So as she's gone up the ranks, her family has been nicer to her. I don't know. I'm pretty much stumped. So you can let me know what you think. I've tried my best to dissect it, but with Priscilla's demeanor, ducking and dodging questions, not really answering questions, there's really not that much to go off of. It just seems to me that she's going after Victoria because Victoria went after what's hers, and that's pretty much it. I don't know. I just want to know what Curtis would do if he knew the way... I mean, he goes off on her. Him and Maud went off on Victoria for her hissy fits and whatnot, but now you have Priscilla doing the same thing. So I feel like, if nothing else, this is compromising her position. I mean, if she was supposed to be like an undercover agent or whatnot, then she's doing a very shitty job of it, basically letting it be known that I'm an important person now. You can't treat me the way you think you can. So I don't know. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Like I mentioned before, like and subscribe. Any ideas, let me know in the comment section below. I want to get your thoughts. And if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.